Welcome to Reflections in Running on May the 28th, Thursday, and I've got no less than 5 horses I want to talk about. So as per normal, if you want to write down the names of the horses, and we'll see how we get on. We're going to start at Goodwood on Thursday, a 2-mile handicap, which I expected Gavlar to win. I don't think he was given the greatest of rides behind Fitzwilly, only making ground late on. Maybe the pace in the race really didn't suit him, but he's a horse that's well handicapped at the moment of a mark of 78. He made really good late headway that day. Maybe a stiffer 2 miles is going to suit him. We know now he's an out-and-out stayer. We know that's his strong point, but he can lie up with the pace a little bit better. So a little bit disappointed by Gavlar. I thought he would win, but he's certainly still off a winning mark. Let's go to Catterick on Saturday. 7 furlong handicap, won by Colonel Kerpo. Mezzotint is the horse I want you to have a look at here. Mezzotint was rated 85 in that particular race. He was as high as 99 last year. Now normally when he's done his winning he's run off the front, but this time around he was held up by Shelley Burkett. I don't think it was a bad thing to do. I'd rather see him held up. But he only got into the race really late on when it was all but over. He wasn't given a hard time by Shelley, to be fair to her, and I think his day will come, and he's arguably going to be knocked down an extra £2 here, maybe to 83, possibly down to 82, and then he'll be of huge interest. Fast ground suits him perfectly, and I just hope they don't go back to those front running tactics, because I think he's vulnerable even off that mark. So if he's held up, I think Mezzotint is one to watch out for next time over 7 furlongs. Now many of you would have been on this horse, but I actually tipped it up in my column on Saturday when at Haydock, the 2-mile handicap in Seymour. And those of you who follow my anti-post tips would have also been on him for the Triumph Hurdle, where he was 2 from 2 going into the new year, but for some reason Brian Ellison basically didn't want to campaign him over hurdles, maybe looking forward to the flat, where of course there's bigger prize money. He really is a very exciting sort. He's won off 85 here, but he's won off this mark looking like he's a listed, possibly even a Group 3 performer. And the great thing about Seymour is, 1, he's unexposed, and 2, he's going to be better horse with given the ground. So maybe he's going to be racing at the top of the tree during the height of summer because the fast ground won't suit him. Excuse me. When he gets given the ground though, I think he's going to be a very smart performer, and that is the reason I think that Brian Ellison said, you know what, we'll curtail his hurdling career and we'll concentrate on the flat for 2015. That's Seymour over 2 miles. He could even be an Ebor horse with plenty of given the ground in the Ebor at York. The drop back in trip I don't think will inconvenience him. He's got enough speed if he gets that dig. 2 more to talk about. Let's go to Hamilton on Wednesday. New Lease of Life, a horse, another horse I tipped up on site. Just couldn't go the early pace and/or was given far too much to do by Philip Macon, who I like Philip when he rides at Hamilton. He's got a really good record there. He was also badly drawn and arguably needs more given the ground. It was only just on the good side that day. It was bordering on fast at the end of the day. Stiff 5 furlongs or an easy 6 suits him, and there's still a few more wins in New Lease of Life. And again, rather like Seymour, ideal circumstances are he gets a bit more given the ground. That's New Lease of Life in low-grade handicap sprints, probably in the north of England. And finally, a word about the Oaks, which is coming up. And many of you have read my column, and I'm very sweet on Legatissimo. I think she's quite rightly the favourite for the Oaks. But I wanted to fill you in on a conversation I had with a friend of mine who works for Sir Michael Stout, who told me on Tuesday that Crystal Zvezda, basically the trainer thinks is one of his best middle distance fillies for a long time. And of course he's had some cracking middle distance fillies over 10 and 12 furlongs over the last 25, 28 years or so, Sir Michael Stout. And that is the reason why when she was offered at 8-1 after a victory at Newbury, she's now down to 9-2. Now my contact at Sir Michael Stout is very shrewd. He's been there for a while, he knows the time of day. So I would advise you to have a saver on Crystal Zvezda for the Oaks. If you haven't actually backed in the race yet, then she's the one I'd be siding with to be the biggest danger to Legatissimo. What I can say, I think with confidence, is the right 2 fillies are at the top of the market. And that's Reflections in Running for Thursday, April the 28th.